But I have to say, this is the sturdiest little violin.
Stephanie, I got to tell you, and this is a true story.
Okay.
Well, I've been at this for years. I was actually in the radiator business for years, and they would bring their violins to my radiator shop. I'd take the violins at home and work on them.
I bought this very, very unique violin. This little piece of wood has taken me all over the world.
Each and every violin has its own voice. My name is Bob Bragg. I have repaired violins for about 60 years. Well, I've been told a lot of different ways. The difference between a violin and a fiddle would be if it has strings or strangs. So there you go. Palm Harbor Music was almost an accident, I guess. I was in the radiator business in Clearwater. I let my brother-in-law have the radiator shop. I had a lot of back problems. The fellow had an antique shop. He said, I've got a room next door, why don't you hang some of your fiddles in there and see if you get some action? So I thought, well, why not? A newspaper reporter walked in. He said, do you mind if I do a story on you? And I said, I don't care. We laughed and joked and skipped along the way. People stood in line for a while, bringing in their violins. It was amazing.
About 20-something years ago, I was very intrigued by this violin. It was very different looking. I had never seen anything like it before. Needless to say, I bought it. Now here's the thing, someone told me that this man made it. So I thought, okay, who is this man who made it?
Well, the Strad-a-fiddle, actually, the reason that I built the thing, this is a mute violin or a practice violin. I brought it home and I showed it to my wife, pulled a bow across it, and she said, whatever you do, don't get rid of that thing. I went down the next day and put an electric pickup on it, brought my amplifier home. I can knock the windows out.
I'm a performer. I travel around all over the country, actually all over the world. And the thing is just monstrously loud. And people have always commented, where did you get that? Who made it? Is that handmade? What, you know? And I said, well, I bought it from a music store, but a man made it, and his name was Bob Bragg.
I know I had this violinist come in from, he lived in Pinellas County. Had 10 or 12 of these things hanging up on the wall. And I was working on his violin. He said, could he play? I said, sure. His wife says, no, 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 don't, please don't play that, you know. Anyway, he said no, and he plugged it in, and she got like this. She said, I've never heard him sound so good. True story.
I looked all over and never could find him. So I thought, well, I guess I'll probably never meet him. Well, I was talking to a friend at one of the places I was playing at a fair, and he said, I like that fiddle. I know Bob Bragg made that. I said, what? Okay, you know Bob Bragg? And he said, yes, I know Bob Bragg. And he gave me Bob's number, and I was so excited, and I left a message, and I didn't get a hold of him. And probably a week and a half later, after I had left a message on his answering machine, he called me. And I hear this voice, and he says, hello, Stephanie Ann, this is Bob Bragg. And I'm like, this is Bob Bragg. Hi, Bob. I've been wanting to meet you for so long.
And so she said she'd been looking for me. I knew that she had played one of them because my wife brought home 4 newspapers from Citrus County 20 years ago with the picture of her playing this violin. My wife knew it was one of my fiddles. She puts on a great show.
I've taught many violin students in my career, and that's the first thing I tell them. You can play the violin anywhere. You can start your own band, you could play in an orchestra, you can play in a Zydeco band, you know, playing Cajun music. You can do anything with a violin. But this has opened up a lot of opportunities to play all different styles, classical, jazz, folk music, all kinds. So it's a wonderful thing to have.
Here's one thing about the violin. It's been very few improvements for the last 300 years. I mean, they had perfected everything when they have not been able to do anything better since. Well, I had this doctor come in the store one day down in Pinellas County. He was a well-known doctor. He stood around there just watching everyone go around picking up the guitars and mandolins and whatever, violins. And he came over, he put his hand on my shoulder. He said, I'm gonna tell you something, you're selling better medicine than I am.
Bob Bragg is amazing. Honestly, he reminds me of my dad. Because my dad was always, he was so smart. My dad was always so smart, and nothing ever stopped him. Something about Bob, I don't know. I feel comfortable around him, and he does everything with a joyful attitude. I called him a couple of times and I said, the bridge is going on. Well, we can figure that out. We can fix that. He's a very positive person.
Well, that's what I really enjoy, going out looking for violins. It's just like going fishing. You never know what you're going to find. I still enjoy it. It's just something that, but I enjoy going fishing too. Same thing.